Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be correcting sentence 3, 4, and 5 under set 6. Sentence 3 says, attendance at the soccer game on Sept 3rd was 10,379. Approximately 20% were between 8 and 16 years old. In this sentence I have an issue with numbers, issue with plurals, I'm going to fix an abbreviation, I'm going to fix a comma splice, I have a spelling error, and I'm going to add another comma. So first, let's address our issue with numbers. So, as we talked about in our number rules, when we express a percent, it's okay for us to use the numeral. Next, I have numbers 8 and 16 years old. So now another thing with our number rules is we want to make sure that we're trying to be as consistent as possible. So you have a couple of options here. You can either spell out 8 so that both of our numbers are spelled out, or you can use the numeral to represent the word 16. That's the easiest solution, and so I'm going to replace this word 16 with the numeral. That fixes our number errors. Next, I have an issue with plurals. So the issue is this word years. We, for some reason, have attempted to make the word plurals by adding an apostrophe, but that's not the correct usage of an apostrophe. So I'm going to fix this plurals error by getting rid of that apostrophe. For my abbreviation, I want to make sure that I actually spell out the word September. Next, my comma splice is right after this number 10,379. This comma marks the end of my first sentence and the beginning of my second. But like we've talked about in the past, a comma is not strong enough to combine two complete sentences. However, a semicolon is. So I'm going to replace this comma with a semicolon. Next, my spelling error is the word attendance. This E should be an A. And lastly, I have one other comma to add, and I need to add a comma in this digit here. So I'm going to add a comma after 0 and before 3. And that would fix our sentence 3. Let's take a look at sentence 4. This sentence says, the woman had been heading SW on Highway 49, traveling at only 50 miles mph. However, she lost control of her vehicle and nearly hit a 3-year-old child. In this sentence, I have some abbreviations to fix. I also have an issue with numbers, and I'm going to add hyphens. So first, let's fix our abbreviation. Like I've mentioned before, when we are writing, we want to try to be as formal as possible. So I'm going to replace this abbreviation, SW, and replace it with Southwest. I'm also going to fix this abbreviation, HWY. This abbreviation should actually say highway. And that would fix, I have one more abbreviation, sorry about that. My next abbreviation is here with miles PH. So now with this abbreviation, we have a couple of options. We can either spell out miles per hour, or we can take out miles and complete the abbreviation the way that it should be written. Again, I think that's probably our easiest option, so I'm going to replace it by writing MPH. And that would be all of our abbreviation errors. Next, we also have an issue with numbers. When we talked about our number rules, I mentioned that when we have identification numbers, it's okay for us to use the numerals. So identification numbers include highway numbers. For that reason, I'm going to replace the written out 49 with the numerals. And lastly, I need to add hyphens in this word 3-year-old child. So I should have a hyphen between 3 and year, and a hyphen between year and old. And now sentence 4 has been corrected. Lastly, let's take a look at sentence 5. Sentence 5 says, "It's interesting to visit another country such as Mex or Can and check out the differences among it and your own country. Everything from traffic rules to dining habits." In this sentence, we have an issue with plurals. We also are going to spell out an abbreviation. We need to make sure we're using the right word. And we're going to add a dash. So first, let's look at our plurals. Again, this kind of is similar to our sentence 2 correction. We can't just make some words plural by adding es. We usually just add an s to make a word plural. So I'm going to get rid of this extra e. That fixes my plurals error. The author of this sentence also decided to abbreviate Mexico and Canada by spelling Mex and Can. Again, in writing, we want to try to be as formal as possible, so I'm actually going to spell out Mexico, and I'm going to spell out Canada. Next, I need to make sure I'm using the right word, and there are 2 using the right word errors. The first is this word, it's. Okay, we want to use the form that says it is, and so we are going to add the apostrophe. The next using the right word error is actually this word among it. We want to say between it instead. And lastly, I'm going to add a long dash between country and everything. And now we have corrected sentence 5. If you have any questions about how or why we've corrected the sentences the way we have, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks for watching, everyone.